So I'm here today to talk to you about how we're activating AI at Vanguard, both to empower our crew and to elevate our client experiences. Now at Vanguard, our core purpose is to take a stand for all investors, to treat them fairly and give them the best chance for investment success. It drives everything that we do at Vanguard, and it's at the heart of how we're implementing AI. And this year is our 50th anniversary. It's an important milestone for our firm. And while we're spending some time reflecting on where we've been, we're more than ever focused on where we're going. We're investing in AI and pioneering ways in which we're putting it into action. Now, we've seen a lot of companies who have taken AI and have stuck it in the middle of an existing process, and we never really saw a lot of value coming from that. The true value comes from taking AI and building your processes around that. So let me rewind the clock a little bit and take you back maybe about a year and a half, 2 years ago, and walk you through what it looked like to get an email out the door in our department in FAS. So it would start with strategy. We'd have an engagement strategist who would build the campaign strategy. They'd send a brief over to a creative team. The writer, the designer would write the email, mock it up, and then they would pass it off to an enterprise team who would code the email, get it set up in marketing automation tools, and then eventually it would deploy out into market. This process took over 12 crew members and had 12 different handoffs to get a single email out the door. We had this idea on my team and said, well, what if we used Writer and we had that one person did the entire workflow? They built the strategy, they used Writer to create the content, they used Knack to design the emails, and then they were able to deploy it themselves. And now, I could have put a big presentation together and, brought that to leadership and got consensus and buy-in and approval for a pilot. But my bias is to action, and my team's bias is to action. So we found opportunities where we could just start experimenting along the way. And so we took emails and started running it through this process, and immediately started seeing the efficiency and the effectiveness of this process. Because not only did we get to market faster, but our engagement rates actually started to tick up higher than when we were normally creating emails. With this workflow scaled, the emails that go through this self-provisioned workflow get to market 57% faster than emails that are done through our standard workflow. Scaled, our engagement rates continue to be at or above our baseline, and we've given hundreds of hours back to our creative team to allow them to work on more strategic projects. And one of the big ways that we've scaled this workflow is with the use of Writer's AI Studio agents, that most of which my team of engagement strategists have actually built all by themselves. So let's take a look at what this workflow actually looks like. So we're going to promote one of our thought leadership articles here, and we're going to go into Writer, and I'm going to pull up this email agent that my team has built. And I'm going to go and I need some source content, so I'm going to go to that web article, grab the URL, and I'm going to add it right into this application. Now it's going to take a couple seconds for Writer to process that URL. So I'm going to add just a single instruction, probably the most basic thing you would add, like you would put on a creative brief, and select my format. So I want to make sure that it's a paragraph format. That's what I like for this email. And click Generate. In a couple seconds, the output will be created. And you'll see right away the way that we've designed this agent is to have optionality built into it. So there's variation, not just for A/B testing purposes, but variation allows the user to get to a higher quality output faster. So when I feel great about this process, I'm able to just move it through the review stages, get it proofread, compliance approved, and with a couple clicks of a button, this is now synced into Adobe's Marketo, and we're off to the races. And now I'd love to talk to you about how we brought Vanguard's first client-facing use of generative AI to life. And this is an application that's designed for use by financial advisors to generate summaries for their end clients. And we looked at this space and said, all right, well, how might we innovate? How can we change up the way that most asset managers are delivering these materials to advisors? And how might we add generative AI at the center of that transformation? And Writer's AI Studio was critical in us being able to do this, because within a day or two of us forming our perspective on the application, I personally built the first version of this app in AI Studio, and we were able to create outputs right away and get to testing. Now, this is an application that we couldn't deliver alone. We worked across the Vanguard enterprise to be able to bring this to life. We found only enthusiasm and excitement and a willingness to help us figure out how to get this done from every team that we worked with. It was really a great partnership across the enterprise. Our digital product team and our UX team and IT teams in FAS built the client-facing application and worked with Writer to connect it in through their API. Our risk team, which had to go out on a limb and build the profile and assessment of what it meant for Vanguard to launch this first application out to clients. Our compliance team were troopers. They reviewed over 3,000 outputs from this application throughout our testing process to allow us to get to a stage of accuracy where we felt comfortable launching it. Our IP legal team and our outside counsel had to partner together and develop brand new disclaimers for the use of generative AI in front of our clients. We have teams across Vanguard whose job it is to ensure that we deliver AI responsibly to crew. And for this application, they had to figure out how to ensure we were doing that for our clients as well. And lastly, our team at Vanguard that manages our relationship and instance of Writer, and of course, Writer themselves, who from day one and throughout the life of the project ensured that we had everything that we needed. So it took a village, but let me show you what it looks like today. The application lives on one of our articles, or all of our articles actually, and you're able to open the drawer and immediately interact with the drop-downs. From there, when you click Generate Summary, the application uses the Writer API and is automatically connecting in and delivering a live generative AI summary to the advisor. We include relevant disclaimers, and if I can copy that if I want, but if I want to create a different output, say I have a couple different clients at different places, different levels of acumen, I'm able to adjust that and with a click of a button, get a live summary, copy to clipboard, and I can go use that now with my clients. And like I said at the beginning of the presentation, it's our 50th anniversary. And as we look to the future, we're not just building on past successes, we're reimagining what's possible. With generative AI, we're empowering our crew to work more effectively, more efficiently, and more creatively, all in service of our core purpose, to take a stand for all investors, to treat them fairly, and give them the best chance for investment success.